Good evening. Like Matias said, my name is Juan Manuel. I am from Arkansas, student at the university, seeking a degree in economics and political science. Like many of us, I came here to this country at the age of 7 years old. I came to Springdale, Arkansas, being one out of 4 Latinos in the whole 3rd grade. We were all put in the same class, and we were given this little space in a corner because the teacher didn't know what to do with us. Because she didn't know Spanish, and we didn't know English. So we were put in a corner where I guess we just minded ourselves. And it was difficult to understand because I couldn't communicate my needs to her, and I couldn't communicate with my other peers. Because talking to the same 3 people every day is kind of boring. And my parents, I spoke to my parents, and they pushed me hard. And within 3 or 4 months, I was pretty much speaking the same English that the rest of my classmates were. I started growing up. I picked up the language, started assimilating, as some people like to call it, to the culture. And it was hard because I wasn't ready for this type of change at the time that my parents decided to give it to me. And when I was in high school, I ran into another dilemma. Like many of us, when at the age of 14, 15, you start thinking about money, wanting to get a job, wanting to go out, wanting to hang out, wanting to travel, and figured I couldn't. I couldn't get a job at, which at the time, 14, 15 years old, you think the McDonald's is the best place to work, right? Because you get to know or Taco Bell. And I couldn't even do that. I was very sad because a lot of my friends were working and they were getting money and I wasn't. So it was hard to understand what was going on. And I was very hard on myself. And my dad one day told me, you know what? Don't be sad. Don't be depressed. If they're not willing to hire you, then you hire them. So at the age of 15, I started my own business. I was 15 years old. I owned an auto detail, audio, window tint, auto graphics, whatever you could do to a car, I did. And I managed it all the way through high school. And actually, while I was in high school, I helped some of the high school clubs raise money to go to competitions that I couldn't go to because I was undocumented. But I helped the teachers, I helped the students, I understood what they wanted because I wanted it too, but unfortunately I couldn't go. So I did all this, I graduated high school in my own business, I felt really good about myself. I was providing to pay for my own college tuition with just my business. My parents weren't going to have to take out of their businesses, which they were already running 3 at the time. They weren't going to have to use any of their money or their profits to pay for my school. I was going to be able to provide for it on my own. So I felt really good about that, being able to graduate high school, play football. That's what fellow dreamer Oscar did. And I feel really good about graduating. And I signed up for the University of Arkansas, and I got the letter of acceptance, and they told me, yeah, sure, you can come in. And my social wasn't really questioned. They just gave me an ID number. Well, my first year of college was awesome because I graduated on a Saturday and I started school on a Monday. I was that excited to go to college. I started summer school. I took 12 hours the first summer of college, and I got a 3.5 GPA. And then I took 15 hours the following semester, which is the fall. And I was doing really well. I felt really good about my tests coming up, finals. And the University of Arkansas, I don't know how many other universities have this, but it's called Dead Day. It's the day before all finals begin. It's a day that you use to study or relax a little bit before your finals begin. And that morning, I remember my mom asked me if I wanted to go have some lunch with her, and I said, sure, why not? And I got ready, and she got ready, and I remember it was 10:43 when I looked at my phone, and I was about to put it in my pocket, and it started vibrating, and I looked, and it was my dad. And like I said, my dad owns 3 businesses, and I own my own. And I figured he's probably gonna want something, so I don't want to answer. When I decided to answer, and when I answered, I wasn't expecting what was going to be said to me. He said, "Hey, I fell, come get me." So I figured, my dad's a pretty big guy, he's a little bigger than me. I figured he probably tripped or something and twisted an ankle. That's where he was at, and I went to the location where he told me he was at. And when I got there, I didn't find my dad with a twisted ankle. My dad had fallen 2 stories, broken the hand and the knee, and right there, it just clicked with me. It's all these responsibilities are now falling onto me. Spent all day with him at the hospital, and my mom called me over and over again. She didn't know where I was at. My dad, she didn't know where he was at, and he was telling me, "Don't tell your mom where I'm at." Finally, I told my mom. She came to the hospital, and after that moment, I took over all the businesses. Took over his 3 businesses, my own, full-time college, and being a son, a brother, and trying to keep up with the little bit of social life I had. I had to leave my own business. I couldn't hold it anymore. I had to take over my dad's, and it was difficult because now is where the fact that I was undocumented hit me. I had to travel. I live in Northwest Arkansas. I had to travel to Kansas City, Lincoln, Nebraska, Memphis, Tennessee, Little Rock, Oklahoma. I was traveling to all these places without a driver's license. And that's when it hit me. I could get pulled over and get in serious trouble for this. This reality hadn't hit me until this point. And the DREAM Act I've always known about, but I hadn't really been involved due to this case, that my status hadn't really affected me. And when it did, it was hard. It was hard. And I went to a training in North Carolina where I met Matias, and we had some good conversations. And from then on, I jumped on top of it. I said, something has to be done. I have a sister who just turned 18. She's awesome. She's gotten letters from Harvard. Wanted her to come out to some summer programs, but she hasn't been able to accept because she can't get on the plane. It's hard to see that happen and to see so much potential going to waste. And me being an economics student, I understand the numbers, and I've done the numbers, and it's for real. The DREAM Act will help this economy.